It's out of Mills Ammunition. Hope you're having a great day today. I got a great video coming up for you. Here's the story, right? So there's three things that you sacrifice when you buy ammunition, when you go on the low end, the cheap stuff, the plinking stuff, whatever you want to call it. Those three things are cleanliness, right? How clean your ammunition runs, accuracy, and consistency. Those are the three things that that is different typically from a $12 box of ammunition and a $25 box of ammunition. You obviously know you're not getting the same thing. If you buy a $4 steak and a $15 steak, you wouldn't be surprised that the $15 steak wasn't gray and tasted better, right? So there's no difference in ammunition. Cleanliness comes from a couple different things: higher quality brass and powder, right? Those are the two main factors. Also the type of bullet that you use. So come along for the ride. Let's take a look at some ammunition. We're going to take, here, I'll show you. We took our Ruger SR9C, which is a 3.5-inch barrel, and we ran some Blazer 9mm 115 grain. We're going to do 25 rounds of those. We did 25 rounds of the Norma 124 grain, and then Magtech has a 147 subsonic round that we ran as well, 25 rounds of those. So just 75 rounds. We're going to compare that against our Mills ammunition, and we're going to show you what the difference is in cleanliness. Thanks so much. Come along for the ride. And today we're going to take a quick look inside a Ruger SR9C. It's a 3.5-inch barrel. And what I will tell you is that whenever you're trying to ascertain the cleanliness of ammunition, right, and how clean certain ammunition runs in your gun, the only way you can know for certain the results is with the bore scope, right? That's it. It's the only way you can do it. There are many deposits that are left in a barrel, whether you're talking about pistol or rifle, that happen through the process of breaking a shot, firing around through the barrel. What deposits can be left? Of course, copper fouling if you're using traditional full metal jacket bullets. Carbon is the main culprit. There is also powder, but those are kind of the main things that you're looking. When you're trying to figure out how clean your stuff is, you have to start with a barrel that looks like this. This barrel, this gun is, probably 15 years old at a minimum. And we use it a lot for our self-defense round testing. And we always start with a barrel that looks like this. That's the only way we can know how clean our ammunition truly is running. We use polymer bullets for our training, competition rounds. What I will tell you is, when you're talking about carbon, what you're going to find is there's easy to get out carbon. And that is the stuff that initially comes out with a basic patch. And then there's the second kind of carbon deposits that are a little bit tougher to get out, and that's because they're layered with copper. The copper is stripped from a full metal jacket, and that deposits itself with the carbon, and that is the advantage of using polymer bullets and pistols. You do not have that. There's no copper fouling, there's no mixing of the carbon and the copper that makes getting that fouling out more difficult. That usually requires a minimum of brush. And the other thing that happens is hard carbon, and that happens in pistols and rifles, more common probably in rifles. And carbon, by the way, is a result of the process of what you're doing, which is burning powder and firing a primer. That heat intensifies what results is left over in the barrel is the carbon. Higher the heat intensity, the different qualities of the powder determine the carbon that's left in your barrel. All right, so starting off, we have our Blazer 115 For the Ruger SR9C, it says that from the Ruger page, or from the CCI page, it says that you get 1,145 feet per second. It doesn't describe the length of the barrel, it says industry standard, so obviously we're going to get less of that than with a 3.5 inch barrel. So let's get ready to rip here. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, hey, one group done. All right, so now we have our Norma 124. They're saying 1181 out of a 6-inch barrel. Moving pretty good for 124. All right, so we got average of 1015, high 1045, low 986, extreme spread of 59, standard deviation 13.1. And we're going to switch over to the 147s. All right, so we've shot our 75 rounds, and let's see what we're looking at here. It's all copper. See that? That's just 75 rounds. This is the Ruger SR9C, but that's all copper stripped right there. All right. I think it's pretty cool to look at the feed ramp. Let's do that right quick. You can see that. Look at that. That is carbon on the feed ramp. Just 75 rounds. Kind of hard to figure out how to do it. Yeah, just 75 rounds. All right, let's get her clean, see how long it takes us. All right, we're going to start with a little gun slick here. This will help us figure out what's in there. You know, blue's going to be copper. So we'll just all right, so we're going to let that sit 15-20 minutes. Come back, see what it looks like. So when you're, take a look at the slide in the frame here. I mean, when you're shooting a gun, it's dirty, right? I mean, there's an explosion being trapped inside of a barrel, and you know, you're going to get carbon, right? You're going to get all the byproducts of the explosion. But that's what we're looking at. You know, we'll get her cleaned up, see what we look like. Be interested to see what the frame and slide look like as we get going here again. So anyway, I've got my Pro Shop Pro Clean gun cleaner. Highly recommend Pro Shop. Big fan of their stuff. So, you know, everyone's got their own technique. It's all legal. And we'll also start a stopwatch to figure out how we're looking on time. I use a lot of these Pro Shot 2-inch round patches. I just love them, man. That's my kind of go-to. Always been a fan of the size, but yeah. So we to start off this little test, you know, obviously we cleaned the gun to absolute perfection, right? So perfectly clean. And we'll do that same thing here. You'll see. You know, I think everyone's got an opinion about how they clean a gun, and you know what works and what doesn't. So I'm not going to tell you what to. I'm just showing you what I do. You know, and I'm sure there's someone maybe watching to say, "Oh yeah, you don't do this, you don't do that." I don't know. I've been doing this the same way, and like I said before, this is this isn't a new gun. And it certainly has had a bunch of rounds through it over the years. Certainly haven't shot it as much as I have other guns. It's more of a carry gun. It's not exactly the most fun to shoot. But I think one of the things that I try to let do is just kind of let the cleaner do its job. And once I get my first wipe down, I try to figure out sections. Make sure a certain area is done first before I move on to the next, so I know one area is done. And this gun was worked on way back when by Templar Customs. I'd be honest with you, I haven't even looked to see if they're still around. I believe they're in Ohio, but whatever, I think there was an article in something that showed this kind of work that they were doing to the SR9C, but it's been a bunch of years, right? So at the time what they were doing was pretty trick. Don't know that that's the case anymore. Here's the other part real quick, is when you kind of keep your gun at a certain level of cleanliness, it's like having a huge laundry project, right? It's a lot easier to get your laundry done when you're not trying to wash the whole fleet's laundry, right? You're just doing, you know, you don't let it pile up and you get to it. It's no different than that. So you gotta find out where all those little nooks and crannies are that get powder in there, burnt powder. All right, so that's 20 minutes. Let's see what we get out of the barrel. That's what you get. All right, let's go take a look at the bore scope. See what we did with just the gun slick. So the lands don't look too bad, right? A couple of them. That one's. It's the grooves that are still filled pretty good. That gun slick kind of just gets like the top layer off. Or this is just 75 rounds. Alright, I think we know where we sit. Let's get back to work. Okay. We've got everything here. We've got the three colors, which is blue, black, and brown. The blue is the copper. The black is the carbon, and the brown is the powder. So first thing we'll do is we'll get a little carb out going. Let me get my gloves back on. So I've got some carb out. And what we want to do is just get this stuff in there. Then we're going to let it sit while we finish everything else. We should be getting close on this everything else. Still getting some stuff. Yep. Still stuff in there. Yeah, it's just about done. Extractor is obviously going to be an area where you're going to get a lot of filthy filth. And again, we started with a perfectly clean gun. Make sure we got these frames good. Or they slides, grooves. Yep, I think we're good there. Isn't that crazy? All that cleaning, you can still find your little nook that's got a bunch of carbon sitting there. See, that brush kind of loosens that up. So we're looking for cleanliness, or we're looking to compare. So we want to, do our best to start from a clean plate and be able to say, this carbon, this powder is from this, right? Unless we can prove it, unless we can show it, we won't know. So it's tough to do kind of a half-assed job. Some people might watch and say, man, dude, I would never spend that much time. Well, it is what it is, brother. When you're doing a lot of testing, you've got to do your best to make sure that you're starting at zero as far as cleanliness goes, or else you don't know. You'll never know. Unless you do this, you'll never know. So any of our test guns, this is what we do. I mean, look, I've been cleaning for 20 minutes or whatever, and we're still getting you know, decent sized little carbon spots. And it doesn't take much, right? A little nook or a little cranny, and you're gonna get a pretty big little black area, but we're getting there. This should be just about it. But look at that, still, after all this time. Still getting that kind of stuff out of there. And I'm telling you, we started with the completely, you couldn't do this when we started. And this is 75 round. We're getting there though. Damn battle. Isn't that crazy, dude? Look at that. After all that. That's what's sitting back in that extractor. I do this every time. So get a general wipe there. We know this area is pretty good. Got a little bit there, little black spot there. Alright, now let's see where we are with this extractor. We'll go start from scratch on that. Alright, let's do a couple more of these and then we'll be done. Alright, I think we're pretty good there. Slide done. All right, back at it. Here's some alcohol. And just a way to try to make sure that helps make sure that you're not passing dirt from dirt from dirt from dirt. But yeah, so we've got some carbs sitting there. We've got we'll do a couple of different things here. We'll take this carb out. Using too much when I do that, but we'll just kind of wet it like this here, and we'll pass a patch with it in there. We'll scrub it in there. Again, 75 rounds. Not right. It's not crazy. All right, we'll take our brash brush. Here's our alcohol that we just passed. Getting somewhere. But look at all the cleaning we've done, and that's still coming out of there, dude. 75 rounds. All right. Another 20 passes. Again, just some alcohol. Accelerator. Patch out. 20 passes. Back at it again. But we got clean patches. So unless you do this, you do not know how clean your stuff is. This is 75 rounds, right? It's nothing, dude. You go to the range, minimum you're shooting is 50. Very common to shoot a lot more than that. And this is 75. Nuts. Nuts, nuts, nuts. All right, we'll take the take this little turbo brush, give that a shot. But with these, you know, I'm not gonna run them backwards, I'll put it forward. And we'll take 20 brushes through it. because we know there's no really copper in there, so that's probably mostly from the brush and stuff. So that's pretty good. There's still some in there, but we've gotten a lot better. Good idea to wipe down your rods. Believe it or not, we are finally getting close, I think. But again, you will not know until you run your bore scope through there. Now we've got the best, the JB bore cleaner. Look at that. Alright, so what you can see is that there's like black lines on this, and that means there's still stuff in the grooves. Getting there. And you can still see it's still stuff in there, dude. You can see all that black right there. There's black lines, and that is the stuff that's in the grooves. That is the carbon that's sitting in those in the grooves. The lands are probably completely fine. They're getting all the contact. But look how black that is. See how it's elongating? That's what you want. But it's completely black. And it's just like, you know, when we were cleaning earlier and you see like little pieces, like a little piece of carbon can make a big spot. It's the same thing. But yeah, black. 75 rounds. You saw where we started. Completely clean barrel. 75 rounds. Pass a clean patch. There, dry patch. All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna bore scope it. All right, so you can see what we've done so far, right? So the lands are really nice. And then, you know, the grooves still have this stuff in it. Like that one right there. It's pretty thick. And it's just, you know, that combination of carbon and a little bit harder when you're using full metal jackets, because you get the carbon gets stuck in there and laid on. There's another line with the copper. So we'll take now it's time to get a brush going. All right, be back. Believe it or not, kids, we're not there yet. I'll show you a little trick too. So this is a Pro Shot universal cleaning kit, and I just take one rod out of it. So I hate using up all this carb out, dude, because it's such awesome stuff. It's just great. this will do it. It's crazy, right? All this time. And we'll put a little carb, just a freaking hair on. Get that on there. See, dude? All right, let's go with the JBs again, see if that gets us down the road. I honestly don't know if that's going to be enough, because I was pretty surprised what I just got out of it, which I didn't show you. All right, now I'm going to show you the next bore scope so we can see where we're at, because we got to be getting close, because I'm freaking tired of this. Yeah, that was looking better. All right, let's go see what the bore scope tells us. Oh, we were so close. See that right there too? Right there too. Right there. Right there. Close, but back to work. All right, we are very, very close. Pretty much there. And I'll be honest with you, I would probably spend a little bit more time, like if this was, but I've done this for so long that I'm wore out on it, to be dead honest with you. But we'll put a little polishing compound in there, and that should kind of get us all, I mean, it's very good, right? But it can be, it's not as good as it started, I can tell you that. But we will do just a little bit of, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this, but we'll put a little bit of compound on here. This is the Bore Bright. So you can see this, 2 hours and 16 minutes. That's how long I've been doing this. Okay, here we go. think we're pretty good. I think we're pretty good. A little bit right there. So that was 75 rounds. We got some MagTech, Blazer, and something else. All right, dude. Let's go shoot again.
Met a girl downtown at the bar last night and we got to talking.